So we are joined here again on Next by Aurora Mayor Steve Hogan. Thanks for coming back.
Happy to be here.
I hate yes or no questions, but this strikes me as a yes or no question. Is Aurora a sanctuary city?
No.
Okay, so there's city councils looking at this resolution to say Aurora is not a sanctuary city, but it is a welcoming city. What in the world is the difference between the two?
Well, the difficulty is that there's no legal definition of a sanctuary city.
Yep.
If you went and asked Attorney General Sessions what the definition was, he couldn't tell you. And what happens is it becomes a political football. The right uses it for one set of reasons, the left uses it for another set of reasons, and everybody else gets caught in the middle. We got caught in the middle yet again, and it's because what you have in this day and age with social media and websites, anybody can put up a website, anybody can send out a tweet, anybody can put something on Facebook. And a lot of people believe everything they read. And that results in difficulties in just trying to do what you're supposed to do as a city.
So, as we tried to explain to folks here this week, Attorney General Sessions is threatening to defund sanctuary cities that violate its 8 U.S.C. Section 1373. But it's a rule about communication, how Aurora talks to the feds, to immigration officials. Are you confident that Aurora is in complete compliance, the jail, the police department, the city, with 1373, and that you do not prohibit or restrict communication with ICE?
Absolutely confident. And my expectation is when the administration moves forward with whatever it is they're going to do, as it relates to some federal grants, they're going to send out a piece of paper that says, if you want this federal grant, you have to check the box that says that you comply with 1373. And Aurora will check the box.
And as we've explained, Aurora does not honor the voluntary detainers beyond when somebody would otherwise be held at your detention center.
That's right.
Same as Denver.
Same as Denver.
Same as Weld County, same as any county in Colorado.
I think in all probability, if Aurora gets in trouble, every city and every county in Colorado is in trouble.
Because you're roughly doing things the same way.
Right.
Okay. There were two things that your police chief said at a meeting earlier this week that I take issue with, that I want to bring up. So Police Chief Nick Metz was saying that there are a lot more citizens committing crime in Aurora than non-citizens, people here illegally. Well, of course, that's a math problem. Right. We've also delved into the rate, and the rate of crime by non-citizens is lower than the rate of crime by citizens. But here's the thing that I really take issue with. Your police chief said that TV tries to put a fear factor into things. But isn't it a fact? I mean, if you've got known violent people in your community and ICE wants to deport them, they're the problem, not TV trying to insert the fear factor.
I think you're probably right. TV isn't the problem. What is the problem, again, is this kind of instantaneous communication that isn't always accurate, isn't always true, but finds a way to, unfortunately, become headlines, even if they're after the fact headlines. And so those of us who are dealing with it, whether it's the Aurora Police Department and Chief Metz on the ground every day dealing with the residents in our city, or the city council, or me as mayor, not every day, but certainly as it relates to policies and procedures and meetings and things like this, we have to bounce off of that instead of being ahead of that.
Let me ask you about another headline that's in the news. The Trump administration has proposed a big increase in military spending. Buckley is key to Aurora.
Right.
So now Congress has to translate the Trump administration's priorities into actual spending. What are you hearing behind the scenes from folks at Buckley about whether or not a Trump budget is going to be good for them?
There hasn't been a whole lot of back chatter that I've been privy to. And I guess I would only correct one thing. Buckley's not just important to Aurora. It's important to the whole metropolitan area. I mean, you wouldn't have Raytheon here without Buckley. You wouldn't have Northrop Grumman here without Buckley. You wouldn't have Boeing here without Buckley. So it's the whole metro area. They put almost $1 billion a year into the metro area economy. but they are also more than half dark. They do things we will never know about. And so I think that what we have to be aware of is that an impact in the defense budget will have an impact at Buckley. A lot of people don't realize that every branch of the military has an assignment at Buckley, even though it's an Air Force base. So, for example, if the prime beneficiary of the budget is the Navy, my guess is there'll be some money coming into Buckley.
Let's talk about the dog. Capone the dog.
Capone the
Just
dog.
a dog, not a wolf, as we now
Right.
know.
Right.
So this case got a ton of media attention. It was a dog being held by Aurora Animal Services on suspicion of being part wolf when it got loose and scared somebody. This dog ends up sitting at Aurora Animal Services for 5 weeks while this gets sorted out. Now there's a DNA test and the dog is home. Are you satisfied with the way the city handled that case?
As a general statement, yes. I think there are some things that could have been done better. Certainly communication was a problem. I think oftentimes government gets behind the curve. We're not sure what to say, how to say it, because the city attorney is saying be careful of that, and the PR person is saying and be careful of this.
Did you guys lose the public relations battle on this one? I mean,
Yeah,
this blew up in a big, big way.
We did lose the public relations battle. There's no question about it. We lost that battle. But the fact that the dog was picked up initially was for good reason. Part of the delay came not from the city, not from animal services, but rather from the owners of the dog, because there was an active court case and they sought a couple of delays and they got the delays. So in truth, I think there's some blame on both sides, but yeah, we lost the PR battle, if you will.
Let's look forward then. Are you confident that your animal services workers have enough training to be able to discern which dogs might be in violation of this wolf hybrid rule? And does the actual policy need to be clarified? Because my understanding is that if a DNA test comes back and your Pomeranian is 1% wolf, then it could be seized by the city.
It's not directly comparable to the sanctuary city comparison, but it is. Our ordinances are just about the same as most other ordinances, not just in the state of Colorado, but around the country. Every city has the same ordinances. Our animal shelters have won awards for what they've done and how they've done it. And the dog wasn't picked up because they thought it might be a wolf hybrid. The dog was picked up because the dog was threatening somebody. The wolf hybrid thing came in later. And so, you know, if we're going to assume that every dog is legal, well then I guess you can, and you can say we're going to be a sanctuary city for dogs, but not every dog is legal, and it creates problems.
But Aurora is somewhat unique in the fact that it bans these wolf hybrids. So again, the question is, do you need to clarify this policy to put some kind of a percentage on it or some type of clarifier so that dogs aren't swept up all over the place if they are picked up for another reason?
And that may be something that comes along. So far, I'm not aware of either city administration that's advanced that or a member of the city council that's advanced it. Nobody has.
So any citizen could take that to their council member who could then bring it to the full council if they want that clarified.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Aurora Mayor Steve Hogan, thank you so much for coming by.
Sure. Happy to be here.